We are in the middle of pandemic. The COVID-19 virus has already infected almost 37 million and killed more than 1,066,000 people around the world, the effects of which are catastrophic. In the Philippines, hundreds of thousands of Filipinos have lost their jobs. Among them are the Filipinos who are working abroad, whom we call as the Overseas Filipino Workers or the OFWs. Finding a new job for OFWs is grueling, especially now that many of the recruitment agencies have temporarily closed or ceased operations. The Philippine Overseas Employment Administration, or POEA, is a government agency whose mission is to facilitate the generation of decent jobs for Filipino migrant workers. It may be of help to the OFWs who lost their jobs and wanted to work abroad again, and to the would-be OFWs or the workers who would want to try to work abroad for the first time. The workers may avail of the direct hiring facility of POEA. Direct hiring is the process of employing a worker without the assistance of licensed recruitment agency. This means that you need not to pay a huge amount of money as placement fee to the recruitment agency in exchange of the job order. So in direct hiring, you are responsible in finding your own employer, but you may also seek the assistance of your friends, relatives, and acquaintances to help you find an employer. In our office, some of the direct hire workers we have processed were helped by their relatives. However, direct hiring has limitations. First, only the workers whose jobs are under the category of professional or skilled are allowed to be processed. Some of the positions under these categories are engineers, electricians, teachers, nurses, restaurant managers, hotel supervisors, HR officers, finishing carpenters, mason, heavy equipment operators, IT professionals, document controllers, safety officers, and divers. In the case of household service workers or HSW, only those workers whose employers are member of the diplomatic corps, member of the royal family, international organizations, and those whose rank is equivalent to deputy minister are allowed to be processed. Second, if the employer has an active accreditation to any recruitment agency, then the workers cannot avail of the direct hiring facility of the POEA anymore. Last, the maximum number of workers to be hired by the employer and processed through direct hiring is 5. Every year, the POEA deploys about 2 million Filipinos. But the question is, why do Filipinos want to work abroad? Some may say they want to work abroad to provide financial support for their family. Others may say they want to work abroad because they want to earn for the business they are planning to put up. Or they want to work abroad to be able to send their kids or siblings to good schools. Or they want to work abroad because they want to buy a beautiful house in the metropolis. Or they want to work abroad because they want to migrate permanently. We have to remember that there are two phases of overseas employment. It has boons and banes. It has advantages and disadvantages. That is why, before deciding to apply for overseas employment, we have to consider the following factors. Number 1, are you qualified? Next, are you ready to work in a foreign environment? Then, are you ready to leave your family? Then, are you ready to face the challenges and risks of working abroad? And last, are you financially capable? When asked, are you qualified? Then you have to consider the following questions like, do you have the necessary skills for the position you are applying for? Or do you have enough work experience? Or are you a holder of a national certificate? Also, when you are asked, are you ready to work in a foreign environment? Then you need to consider the practices, beliefs, culture, traditions, and laws of the host country. Also, consider the religion, language, environment, and the foods they eat. With the question, are you ready to leave your family? Remember, while working abroad, you may miss the different occasions being celebrated in your family, like birthdays, graduation, and anniversaries. Also, you will not be able to assist your children in going to school or take care of them if they are sick. Nurse your old or dying parents and comfort your partner if they are down. With the question, are you ready to face the challenges and risks of working abroad? Let us take a look at the advantages of overseas employment. Overseas employment may help uplift the economic situation of your family. It may also help you improve your self-esteem or confidence. It could give you some social adventure. But, on the other hand, it may result to homesickness, maltreatment, abuse, runaway or overstaying, and discrimination. Further, vulnerability to temptation and vices, termination, repatriation, and brain drain. And the last question, are you financially capable? During the pre-employment stage of overseas employment, you would need to prepare for the documentation costs, which include PSA birth certificate, NBI clearance, police clearance, barangay clearance, passport, medical examination, inoculation, skills tests, and orientation seminars on top of the anticipated placement fees and processing fees and other related expenses. And now here is the list of requirements for direct hire workers whose job categories are under professional and skilled. As you can see, there are two phases of the requirements. The requirements under phase 1 are the following. First, passport with validity period of not less than 6 months. Next, valid work visa, entry or work permit, whichever is applicable per country. If visa assurance or guarantee is issued by employer, the same should be noted or acknowledged by the government or immigration office in the job site. Next, employment contract. The employment contract should be original and with verification from the Philippine Overseas Labor Office or POLO and authentication from the Philippine Embassy or Consulate for countries with no POLO. Next, company profile, business license or commercial registration of the employer. Next, POLO endorsement letter addressed to the administrator seeking exemption from the ban on direct hiring. Next, additional country-specific requirements. For Canada, for example, labor market opinion or labor market impact assessment. For USA, labor condition application and notice of action. And for the Middle East and African countries, contingency plan issued by the employer. Next, additional documents to support job application such as certificate of employment or business permit if self-employed, diploma and transcript of records, NC2 or PRC license, curriculum vitae or resume. And the last one is a notarized statement of how the worker secured his or her employment with attached photocopy of employer's passport, ID, and contact details, and authenticity of diploma, transcript of records, certificate of employment, and other certificates submitted. Upon fulfilling the requirements under Phase 1, submit it to us immediately for our verification and evaluation. Then we will make the necessary justification for sending to our central office, and we would wait for about 3 days or more for the issuance of your clearance. To check if your clearance has already been issued, just visit our website poea.gov.ph. The requirements under Phase 2 are the following. First, e-registration account. Just visit eservices.poea.gov.ph. Next, compliance form if necessary. Next, valid medical certificate from DOH accredited medical clinic authorized to conduct medical exam for OFWs. Next, pre-employment orientation seminar certificate or PEOS. Just visit peos.poea.gov.ph. Next, pre-departure orientation seminar certificate issued by OWA. Next, POA clearance for employers under Section 124D of the POA revised rules and regulations. And last, proof of certificate of insurance coverage covering at least the benefits provided under Section 37A of RA 8042 as amended. When all the requirements from Phase 1 to Phase 2 have been fulfilled, you may now process your documents to be able to secure the Overseas Employment Certificate or OEC, otherwise known as the Exit Pass. You will be asked to pay POA processing fee of $100 or its peso equivalent, OWA membership fee of $25 or its peso equivalent. You would need also to update your PhilHealth and Pag-ibig payments. The processing and issuance of OEC will only take about an hour or two. In the airport, you need to present all the documents you have presented in the processing and the OEC for you to be allowed to depart bound to your destination. Thank you all again for watching. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up, click the bell button and share. I'd like to hear from you in the comment section below. And if you have not subscribed yet, make sure you click subscribe now for more videos.